Hello everyone, we are the Group 4 and we will tackle about the topic experiential consumption and destination marketing. It contains the topic the nature of experience in consumption experience, consumer experience, and destination marketing, and the framework for tourism experience. This chapter deals at consumption experiences and how important they are to destination marketing. To produce and deliver the appropriate message to the customer, a thorough understanding of destination marketing and the consumption experience is required. Because of this connection, some believe that the function of tourism organizations is not just the creation and marketing of destination products, as well as the production of visuals showcasing travel experiences such as the indigenous people's physical and cultural surroundings, as well as their interactions with other travelers and destination hosts. Here are some of the authors that defines the word experience. First is Lashley 2008. He said that tourism experiences from the perspective of creating hospitable relationships between the host and guest. These experiences engage emotions which is essential to creating a memory. Sabi niya, mabibase daw yung simpleng pakikipag-connect or pakikipag-usap ng mga locals sa mga tourists in the way of being hospitable so that their experience will engage their emotions and will result to having a good experience. Next is Anderson 2007. He said that the tourist experience is proposed as the moment when tourism consumption and tourism production meet. Mangyayari daw yung experience when tourism consumption and production meet. But first of all, what is tourism consumption and production? Tourism consumption, it simply refers to the things people consume, including the accommodations, transportation, entertainment, and etc. While tourism production, from the word itself produce, it involves the creation of products and services. Going back to what Anderson said, experience is proposed when tourism consumption and production meet. For example, sa hospitality industry like restaurants, they produce services and products wherein tourists will consume during their travels. Next is Schmidt 1999. He said that experiences are private events that are not self-generated but rather occur in response to some stage situation and involve the entire being. Experiences can be understood as private events because they are subjective and occur within the individual's mind and perception. However, they are not self-generated in the sense that they often occur in response to situations that are staged or provided by the environment. It involved the entire being, encompassing not just cognitive aspects but also emotional, sensory, and even spiritual dimensions. For example, pag pumunta ka sa isang museum exhibition, ini-involve niya not only yung pagtingin mo sa mga artifacts, but also like reading descriptions and listening to audio guides. All these sensory inputs combine to create a rich and multidimensional experience that involves the entire being of a tourist. Next is Carlson, 1997. An experience can be defined as constant flow of thoughts and feelings that occur during moments of consciousness. It is true that an experience is constant flow of ideas and emotions that pass through our minds. This description highlights how experiences are dynamic and always changing, developing over time and influenced by our continuous thoughts and feelings. Each individual's experiences are unique and influenced by their personal perspectives, memories, and emotional states, contributing to the rich foundation of human existence. Lastly, the Manel, 1984, he said that an experience or state of mind is uniquely individual and it is the quality rather than the quantity of leisure in our lives that deserves attention. It means that experiences emphasizes the subjective nature of experience and suggests that the focus should be on the quality rather than the quantity of leisure activities in our lives. Tourists' experiences and state of mind are shaped by their individual perspectives and preferences. What constitutes a meaningful or enjoyable experience for one person may not be the same for another. Therefore, it's essential to recognize and honor the individuality of experiences. Instead of counting the number of leisure activities or experiences, it's more valuable to consider the significance and enjoyment from those experiences. Yung some examples of quality leisure activities are relaxation, personal growth, and fulfillment. Focusing on the quality encourages us to prioritize activities that truly enrich our lives and contribute to our overall well-being. I can say that these five are all true and we can relate to them because experiences involves multiple things such as activities, events, and interaction that shape our perceptions and understanding around the world, specifically in tourism industry.
And then the next part is consumer experience and destination marketing. Some researchers have argued that as the economy offers an increasing number of commoditized products and services, companies must find new concept and marketing strategies to differentiate themselves from their respective competitor. So, sa isang competitive market na may large section of products and service, companies must find ways to differentiate themselves from their competitors in order to attract and retain customers. Like, for example, sa yung iPhone, yung dating mga iPhone is wala siyang 0.5 na feature sa camera. But then, nung nilabas yung iPhone 11 na model, parang nagkaroon siya ng 0.5 na feature, and then these days parang naging popular siya dahil dumadami yung mga gumagamit ng iPhone, and dumadami rin yung bumibili nito. And then for the second bullet, consumer want more than the purchase of product and service. They want the experience, relationship, and stories behind the transaction. Dito naman, hina-highlight dito yung importance ng consumer's experience and relationship beyond the purchase. For example, pupunta ako ng concert. And then, yung dahilan ng pagpunta ko sa concert is because I want more experience and I want to be part of that crowd. And that will give me good experience na parang in the future magkakaroon ng emotional connection sa pagpunta ko dito. And then the next part, please. From marketing services perspective, Moravian and Russell 1974 found that consumer have emotional response to physical environment. Dito naman po yung sinasabing consumers have emotional response to a physical environment. Kunyari po, for example, sa Starbucks, hindi lang po yung food and yung mga food doon yung pinupunta ng mga tao, kundi yung place na rin po. Because of its parang cozy place and ang aesthetic din po tingin ng mga tao doon. And parang kapag nandun po yung tao, mas nakaka-relax po sila because of its atmosphere po. And then yung kay Carbon and Haeckel 1994 and OL at 2007 argued that consumer encounters good or bad and then short experience. Dito naman po, hina-highlight yung nature of consumer encounters or yung interaction between consumer and then yung company. For example po dun sa good experience po, nung nasa vacation po ako, me and my cousin po decided to have exploration po sa market malapit din sa lugar nila. And then, with that exploration po, nagbigay po ng impression yung market na to sa akin. Like, bumili kami ng iba't ibang klaseng products, ng mga foods nila. And because of that po, parang good siya sa akin. Good yung experience na binigay nitong place na to sa akin. And then for the bad experience naman po is like yung sa sa incident dun sa Watson na parang nabasa ko, yung parang sales lady mga some of sales lady na parang nagpo-point out sila ng insecurities ng mga consumer. And I think alam niyo naman po yung mga iba na yon. And with that po, parang nagkakaroon ng bad experience yung consumer sa place na yon. So parang ano po dito, dapat po yung mga companies and employees will always give they call this an important or like yung parang positive and pleasant na interaction sa mga consumer. And then yung next po is from Smith 1999 definition, which posted that experience is not self-generated but instead occurs in response to some stage event. Like when people have an experience, it is not because of something inside their brains or minds. It is because of something outside of them. Like seeing a beautiful view or tasting delicious food. Like for example po, I am sitting in an empty room and then ini-imagine ko po na how does it feel to be or like how does it feel na mapunta sa isang tropical beach. That feeling po is not like an experience. It's just like imagination. Magiging experience lang po siya kapag pinuntahan ko po yung lugar na yon or nakapunta po ako sa tropical beach na to. And then second po yung kay Berry et al. In 2000, define experience as orchestrated cues that people detect. This raises the question of whether all consumers recognize orchestrated cues and whether consumers are affected equally by every consumer experience. Dito naman po, experience are triggered by cues from the environment that we see and perceive when all they were created or desired to produce certain effect on people. For example po, naglalakad po ako sa isang busy street and then parang bigla po ako na-attract sa isang restaurants. And yung kaya po na-attract ako dun sa restaurant na to because of its lovely atmosphere. Yung parang like yung decoration and atmosphere ng lugar na to is or orchestrated use. It was created by the restaurant. And that was the reason bakit nafe-feel ko or like nagustuhan ko yung lugar na ito. And parang sa overall po netong topic consumers experience and destination marketing, parang even the researchers and yung mga practitioners nahihirapan silang mag-agree regarding this topic dahil iba-iba rin po yung parang dahilan or yung mga views nila.
So basically, we're moving on onto the next topic, which is the framework for tourism experience. So first of all, before we continue, let's just simplify what is framework. So basically, framework is a continuous plan or how to improve something for this framework for tourism experience, just like consumer experience, which is very big and broad. And framework is how to improve tourism experience. So, ibig sabihin, we need to understand this or we need to study this for us to understand what is business and consumer experience perspective when it comes to this framework for tourism experience. So We have April, Grace, na magdi-discuss natin for this individual um, concept or the four factors of the framework. And the G's of this framework, I'll just add na the G's or the main topic for this is to interpret the framework for tourism experience. So she will discuss each to understand how it works, and she will start here in the two core components, which is ordinary and extraordinary.
For the four components, ordinary, extraordinary, it says here that consumer experience vary from ordinary routines to extraordinary moments. So ordinary experience refers to the routine, everyday experience, like daily life and routine. For example, yung mga ordinary routine natin is as a traveler, for traveler, isang ordinary routine na gagawin mo is, una, magkahanap ka muna ng accommodation. So, the extraordinary experience are intense positive events that go beyond the usual and provide deep meaning and perspective to life. Extraordinary insight is yung mga experience na memorable. Extraordinary yung ordinary is pwede siyang maging extraordinary. For example, sa simpleng paglalakad mo lang is nakakita ka ng amount na 1,000 pesos is kumbaga unexpected mo siyang makikita. Kaya for you, magiging extraordinary experience ka kasi unexpectable nga. And cognitive emotive experience. So cognitive emotive experience refers to the range of reaction of individuals ranging from cognitive or objective to emotive subjective experience. So yung cognitive objective experience refers to the thinking and understanding of consumer. For example, si consumer natin is pupunta siyang Intramuros para intindihin yung task natin. And emotive subjective are more about the emotional response. Kumbaga, kung ano na yung makikil niya lang doon. Example is, pupunta siya sa favorite ng festival para ma-feel yung enjoyment. Dahil, for the first place, is favorite ng festival. And the first factor naman is physical experience and human interaction factors. So physical experience refers to the sensory encounter of consumers, just like sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. It is important to take the consumer understanding. And the human interaction pertain to the social aspect of consumer experience. Consumer experience involving interaction with host, employee, and other guests. So, kumbaga yung physical experience natin is, dito mapasok na yung mga sensory natin like sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. For example is, pupunta ka sa restaurant para kumain. So, yung nabubusog mo ng sensory is yung taste mo. Kumbaga may na-experience ng or bagong lasa. And so, yung introductions is, for mga businesses is important yung introduction or socialization ng staff or guests. Lalo dito sa industry natin, sa tourism industry natin, important yun. Dito nag-base tayo sa kung welcome ba yung mga staff, kung nakikita eye contact, confidence, hindi solid, yun yung mga interaction na kailangan natin. Sa individual characteristics and societal factors naman, individual characteristics refers to the personal taste and qualities of each customer. It means kung anong meron sa individual na yun. Kumbaga kung ano lang meron na most hindi natin mamit sa iba. makwento. For example na dito is yung yung eye-centric, psychocentric, and need-centric. And situational factors are beyond the control of businesses. In the tourism context, these factors include the purpose of trip, travel, compliance, and the nature of the destination. So, sinasabi nga dito is outside na siya ng outside na siya ng businesses. So, means more on sa mga consumer natin sa or customers nag-rate. So, as I said pa ganina, is factors makaka-affect siya sa mga components natin. So, sa ordinary and extraordinary experience, nagbigay ako example about sa physical experience and human interaction. For example, is me as a consumer, ako na lang ang sabi ko sa sarili ko is, pupunta ako sa bagong authentic Korean restaurant. So, yung ordinary yung gawin ko lang doon is pupunta ako dahil bago sa and sakain ako. And pagdating ko doon is mayroong mga nag-perform na Korean and mga nag-isog na Korean. So, hindi ko naman na-expect na meron palang ganun. Kaya, nagkakaroon siya ng extraordinary moments doon. First na, kung ako yun, first na, bawal talaga ako doon. So, connect rin natin doon sa example na yung human interaction. So, yung interaction, kunwari, pagpasok pa lang tayo sa restaurant is sinigit na tayo ng guard, ng mga staff. And pagdating natin sa counter is agad tayong sinausap, sinuhaan ng order. And wala pang finish is napakabilis na ng service nila. So, kaya sa naging ordinary, extraordinary, is, yun na nga, is, pumunta lang ako doon para kumain, pero ang daming unexpectedly na na-encounter ko sa restaurant. Maybe that experience of mine, memorable or extraordinary. So, example sa individual characteristics and situational factors, and these factors affected the cognitive or objective, subjective or emotive experience. So, as we said ko kanina, so individual characteristics is nagbibigay sa personal taste. Example ko na yung sarili ko and yung kaibigan ko. Ang personal taste ko or individual is because ako I'm a shy person is more sa tawag dito more on confidence sa ganun. Pero for example na yun is I'm a psychocentric traveler. Isa tayo sa mga klase ng travelers ay na psychocentric travelers and sa naman is allocentric travelers. So, papasok ko yung pagiging cognitive namin is siyempre, iisipin namin kung ano yung mga gagawin namin sa destination na yun. Yung mga activities ba, kung for sure magkaiba yung activities na gagawin namin. And yung destination ba, either what if gusto ko lang mag-reach. So, siyempre, ma-affect ko namin din emotive namin kasi what if gusto niya sa kanya masunod. So, siyempre, translate ko na hindi na sunod yung akin. And siyempre, malinasa sa kanya. Kasi nga, diba, mas nasunod sa kisa sa plan talaga na mag-usap ng maigi. So, doon naman sa situational factors, for example, is mag-i-risk tayo din sa related ba yun? About kung ano yung purpose ng trip. For example, may couple is initiation siya ng boss niya na mag-travel or visit travel niya and pakipag-meeting sa ibang bansa. And siguro naman, na-expect niya na kahit papunta yung boyfriend niya sa ibang bansa is magbabakasyon siya. So doon, si boy, mag-focus lang siya cognitively sa work niya na tapusin agad and makapag-meeting na maayos para makuha yung girl na gustong makuha nila. And siguro naman, for sure, is maunisa lang sa travel, business, na gagawin niya sa ibang bansa. So, siyempre, maapektuhan naman din yung emotive or yung emotion ni boy. Siyempre, hindi nyo masasama yung girlfriend niya doon sa fish na gusto niya.
So we will just continue the tourism experience applications. So it says here that destination tourism activities and objects by their very natures are experience-based. So nakabase siya kung ano yung ma-experience mo doon sa isang destination. Doon papasok ang 4 components. Mamaya babalikan po natin ang factors or the framework para mas malaman natin yung essence niya. And tourism experience appears within an individual and is a blend of many individual elements. No two individuals will have the same experience because experience elements are interpreted individually. Tulad nga ng sinabi ni April Grace sa kabilang as a mga factors sa individual characters na sa individual characteristics refers personal traits and qualify each consumer. So, may iba-ibang klaseng consumers dahil dito sa tourism experience, sabi niya dito, ang isang experience ay individually interpreted kasi pwede siyang ma-interpret ng may kasama akong kaibigan na sa pinuntahan namin isang coffee shop na sabi kong maganda, pagdating sa kanya is yung experience ng interpreted na ano niya is experience is hindi ganun kaganda. That is tourism experience application. Kumbaga, hindi tayo, iba-iba tayo ng taste din kasi dahil it says here that individual elements, no two individual will have the same experience. So, balik muna tayo dito sa 2 factors which is para mas ma-explain ko ng bahagya and mag-additional ako. Kasi hindi masyadong narinig na si Mary Grace. So, sa external factors ng isang framework is the physical experience and human interaction. So, ano ba yung physical experience? Pwede ba siyang maging pumunta ka sa isang lugar and nakaka-relaxing ba siya? Maganda ba yung ambience? And that sensory sa isang consumer, that is considered the physical experience. Yung smell, touch, taste ng isang coffee, aroma, doon pumapasok yung physical experience sa labas ng 4 components. And pagdating sa human interactions, pwede natin mapasok dito yung goods services. Kumbaga, pagpasok mo sa isang coffee shop, nakasmile pa sila. Pag hindi, siyempre, bad experience sa iyo. Kung papasok yung ordinary and extraordinary. So, pagdating dito sa human interaction, maganda ba yung serving nila, mabilis, mabagal, that is considered the human interaction. And individual, again, I'll just repeat what I said, that individual characters na is have a uniqueness. And in the situational factors, additional pa lang doon is, doon ba sa pinuntahan mo is, dahil pumunta ka doon, malamig. From the word itself, situational. Malamig, tapos, papasok natin yung 4 core components. Dito sa situational factors is, mapapasok natin dito yung hindi lang yung lugar, hindi lang, minsan kasi nakakalito yung physical experience sa situational factors, baka mapagkaiba nyo. Ang physical experience, pumapasok dito yung mismong interaction nila. Hindi lang siya, tama, yung mismong product. Pagdating sa situational factors kasi, it can be the ambience or parang ganito, malamig, malamig ngayon. Pupunta ka sa isang coffee shop. Tapos yung sinuserve lang nila dun sa coffee shop is cold coffee. Yung panahon is malamig. Pupunta ka pa ba doon? Or pagpunta mo doon, malamig, tapos malamig pa yung sinuserve nila. That is a situational factors. So again, here in framework tourism experience, ang babalikan lang natin yung para mas malaman natin yung essence ng framework. So, based sa discussion, framework is proposed depict. Pag sinabing depict, in-interpret nila na ang composition of the tourism experience in a destination is a market context. So, it is that the core consumer experience comprise two access representing four components. Tulad nga ni sabi ni Mary Grace, April Grace, meron tayong ordinary, extraordinary, cognitive, and emotive. So, it is further posited that customer experience do not operate in a vacuum, void of external or internal effects, but are unique for each other. Papasok ulit doon yung characteristic individual. So, perceive human interaction elements, sabi dito, and individual characteristics and situational factors, kailangan nating maintindihan yan na para malaman natin ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng perceived physical experience. Perceived physical experience, like for example, ako, jolly person ako, tapos may kasama akong hindi jolly person, kumbaga introvert. So ako bilang jolly person, extrovert, sa isang destination or isang coffee shop na pinuntahan namin, ginrit ako. So pag ako kasi ginigrit ako, ginaganahan ako, nagiging masaya ako. Etong kasama ko ayaw niya na gano'n. Kasi gusto niya, pagpasok niya, take order lang, tapos good to go. So straightforward siya. Pero para sa akin, yung ganong klaseng service na binigay, na ginrit ako, ginahan ako, bibigyan ko yun ng good experience. Pero para dun sa kasama ko, that is just an ordinary. Hindi natin masasabing negative and contradicting. So, yun nga, hindi siya, there's a unique for each other. So that is perceived physical experience. So, and sabi din dito sa page 89 na ang isang factor that it is ever-changing. Pabago-bago siya. Hindi siya pwedeng hindi mo siya masosustain, kumbaga, ang isang experience. Kasi, sa isang coffee shop, hindi siya pwedeng masarap siya. Pwede siyang magbago for some reason. Pwedeng masarap yung coffee nga, pero yung isang empleyado masungit, ang bagal ng service, sinungitan ako. Tapos, doon siya nagiging ever-changing. Nagiging over-changing siya sa ganung bagay. And so, each factor dito is have a modest. Sa isang perceived physical experience, ang pag sinabi natin modest is walang pakialam. Like tulad nga ng example ko kanina is yung kasama ko, ganun. So, wala lang sa kanya. Ano bang pakin niya kung inismalan? Hindi siya parang pumapasok o hindi siya nagkakaroon ng impact. Pero, there's some significant impact or effect on the consumer component, which is yung part na kailangan maintindihan yung each individual tourist. Dahil nasa 4 factors, sinabi dito na, or kung iintindihin natin, kailangan natin na intindihin or i-put our shoes sa consumer perspective. So, yun nga, para maintindihan natin, hindi lang kailangan malaman or kailangan natin gawin, pero kailangan din nating malaman kung anong position o mararamdaman ng isang customer. So basically nga, kailangan mong i-put your shoes on the consumer. So this is the example of a framework. No, dito tatakbo lahat ng isang Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. We just had a technical difficulty, so let's just continue this. So another example for us to understand the factors. Last example. I just want to add this, the example of cell phone. So in cell phone, let's say iPhone. So objectively speaking, iPhone is a good phone, but subjectively speaking, or my emotions speaking, mahal or higher price. But for me, it is a ordinary phone. But for the others, it is extraordinary. I hope you're getting my point here. And yeah, so we discussed already the individual character, human interaction elements, physical experience, situational force. So let's just say that here to end this, the main or the gist of this discussion is to interpret a framework for tourism experience of how it works. So we already discussed of how this framework tourism experience work from the 4 components of this topic. So moving on here in the next explanation. So yeah, I think we are here now in conclusion and implication. So I'll just read this. So the purpose of this chapter has been to examine consumption experience and the role they play in the destination marketing. So next is, so we just paste our answer here. So we will just read it. So the future research in tourism could explore the varying importance of destination attributes through a weighting system, assessing which elements significant enhance tourist experience. So basically, here in the direction for the future research, so papasok natin yung 4 factors, ma-enhance natin. Pag alam natin yung 4 factors or how that works, ma-enhance natin yung tourist experience nila. So, and additionally, environment, positive human encounters, and the tourist satisfaction, and loyalty is suggested. Yung loyalty suggested, ito yung mga mouth off. Pag sinabi natin mouth off, yung bali-balita, sasuggest natin. Dahil doon, ganun yung mangyayari. So, potential discrepancies between managerial perspective and guest preference may offer insight marketing, brand initiatives, and brand equity on tourist perspective. Comparing well-known brands to lesser-known ones could provide valuable insight for destinations management and marketing strategies. So that is the direction for future research. So in conclusion, this chapter highlight the complexity of consumption experience in tourism and their crucial role in destination marketing. It stresses the multi-dimensional nature of this experience, involving the physical environment, human interaction, cognitive and emotion. So in conclusions, again, emphasizing the need for destination marketing organization to understand and leverage these dynamics in their strategies. So strategies kasi yun natin. And the chapter suggests that positive encounter and emotional connections are key It is a key factor influencing tourist perception, urging tourism, providing to engineer such experience through creative imaginary and promotional efforts. The shift from this destination's image to branding is acknowledged, emphasizing the integration of tourist consumption experience into marketing campaign for better satisfaction and its intention to recommend outcomes. Overall, again, conclusion highlights the evolving landscape of destination marketing and the importance of adapting strategy to meet the dynamic needs of a tourist. Diba? Pumasok dito yung you need to put your shoes in the consumer perspective. So that is all. We are the group 4 and this is the ending of our discussions and thank you very much.